the silver mask worn by the El Santo family, it has been a symbol of hope for people around the world for more than 8 decades. And tonight, a father and son tandem are now set to carry on that tradition against 2 men who have disrespected their family legacy.
It's in their way. You know, I know there was a press conference for this event, and they said that they were a little bit miffed that they weren't going on last, that they weren't the actual main event, and that Jeff Hardy and Rey Mysterio would be following them. It'll be interesting to see what they have in store for El Hijo del Santo and Santo Jr.
We'll start with Santo Jr. and Juvi. The 83-year-old tradition they are trying to break is Juvi and Psicosis. This is your classic Rudo versus technical matchup. The scientific advantage is to Hijo del Santo and Santo Jr. The brawler standpoint and the breaking the rules, Juvi and Psicosis, Joe.
Yeah, every trick in the book is basically what the Santo family is made of, and then breaking every rule known to man. That's definitely the MO of Psicosis and Juventud.
And a nice arm drag takedown by Santo Jr. Santo Jr., then now they're going to try to play the test of strength here. But I don't know if Santo Jr., a nice, look at that scientific wrestling by Santo Jr., front chancery by Juvi. Quick cover, but no, look at this, the action fast early on here in Washington.
You have 2 Técnicos, Hijo del Santo, Santo Jr., 2 classic Rudos, Psicosis, Juventud. I think, though, at some point, I wouldn't be surprised if the Santos are going to have to play a little bit of that Rudo game in order to keep up and not get eaten alive by the likes of Juventud and Psicosis.
Well, Juventud and Psicosis, they have both stated that they want to destroy the 83-year-old tradition of Hijo del Santo and just Santo in general. So this is a knock. This is an attack on their family. And we know that Santo Jr. and Hijo del Santo in a nice head scissor takedown. And he has him in a submission attempt, a submission pinning attempt there. Does Santo Jr. And again, another head scissor, but he remains clasped on to the neck of Juvi.
They wouldn't be the first trying to disassemble the Santo legacy. They probably won't be the last to try. They'd only be the first to succeed.
And now, Santo Jr. looking for some sportsmanship out of Juvi. But here comes Psicosis, the desperado himself, and in comes Hijo del Santo. Psicosis not too keen on the fans trying to get into their minds and boo them and play games. As you see, Hijo del Santo, he needs to use his speed to gain that advantage. And now he plays around with the mask of Juvi. That's a no-no when it comes to Lucha Ilimitado wrestling.
Yeah, luchadors are very, very protective of their masks. It's their identity and it's their honor, because it is a shame upon you to be unmasked in that ring.
And as you look, Hijo del Santo, he's so smooth inside the ring. Both Hijo del Santo and Santo Jr., I mean, they execute moves effortlessly, Joe.
All of these guys in a wrestling ring is like a fish in water. These guys have been doing this their entire lives. Their families have been doing this.
And a single leg takedown by Hijo del Santo. He's isolating and trying to really, it was like he was going for an ankle pick, an ankle lock.
Psicosis momentarily had his shoulders down. There was a 2 count, and then a 2 count there as well.
But the ring awareness by Hijo del Santo to immediately come up and keep his shoulders off the mat, because had he not been paying attention, it could have been disastrous for Hijo del Santo and Santo Jr. And the fans getting behind. And again, a head scissors, and this has been working for Hijo del Santo. He has like that head scissors, and he clasped the neck and the head of Psicosis. He might even take him down with it, but I am just impressed by the calf muscles and the muscle in the legs. That takes a lot out of you. You could tell that he certainly does a lot when it comes to leg day at the gym, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very hard to take a man down like that from just the position of just your skull. Basically just not having any limbs on the ground whatsoever, just your skull.
And a quick pinning combination, takedown, shoulder block by Psicosis. And again, Hijo del Santo, cover new. Look at this. These guys are so well scouted against one another. It is just remarkable. They know each other's tendencies. And now coming in, Santo Jr. And back comes Juve.
Playing to the crowd. Yep.
I don't know if they need that for motivation. They just like to. I mean, they are like outlaws. I mean, we've talked about outlaws during the course of tonight's show, Joel, and they seem like they enjoy being the rebels of Lucha Libre wrestling.
Yeah, they fit that mold, absolutely.
And now Juve's dancing around. If you remember, though, Joel, the original Santo, that silver mask is so, it is without question, it's so sacred. And now Juve really going after Santo Jr. with some chops. And Santo Jr. in some trouble, a drop down. Takedown by Santo Jr., but the original Santo never removed his mask. He ate with it on, showered in it, went to the grave wearing it. 100,000 people attended his funeral, and there's a statue of Santo in Mexico. And now Juve, drop kick, out goes Juve.
He was a god among men. He was a real-life superhero at that time in Mexico. El Santo was a sports champion, and he was at the same time a movie star. He was a cultural phenomenon.
And the significance, Joe, I mean, I know that you are, I love the tradition of pro wrestling, and Santo is without question an iconic legend in the sport.
Absolutely.
Now Santo Jr. has Psicosis. And a nice German suplex, putting Psicosis, dropping him on his neck. Going inside, they throw in Psicosis, and now Psicosis and Juve both inside the ring there. And Hijo del Santo stretching out the neck and the back of Juve. And that looks so painful, Joe.
Yeah, he was really stretching it out, and that's going to go at the ligaments. It's going to go at the muscles.
And a knee to the groin region by Psicosis. That is a classic Rudo move. And now Juve, and he kicks him to the groin as well.
Yep, twice. And not just a Rudo move, but in Lucha, that's definitely a foul. But the ref not calling it, didn't see it, sending Psicosis out.
And in comes Santo Jr., Joe. Oh my, Hijo del Santo. That groin region and the fouls are almost, catches me off guard. But with these guys, anything's possible.
Indeed. Santo down. Gets sent in by Juve.
Drop kick there. He got plenty of air behind that, did Juve. In comes Hijo del Santo. And here's Psicosis blasting Hijo del Santo to the back of the head. And now it's a 2-on-1.
The referee now admonishing Psicosis, sending him outside the ring, making it 1-on-1 once again.
But he'll drag him back to the corner, the boot to the face. In comes Psicosis.
And that's smart tag team wrestling, bringing your opposition back into your corner so that you can have, even if momentarily and indirectly, a 2-on-1 advantage.
And right there, they continue to focus on the groin region, the elbow right downstairs. And a cover, no. Hijo del Santo has taken a wealth of abuse.
Now it's Psicosis trying to admonish the ref verbally and say that was a 3 count.
Well, I don't think, I believe in their minds it's some quick counts, but coming in was Santo Jr., but he is admonished back to his corner as well. And also illegal maneuvers. It looks like they put up Hijo del Santo up on the top turnbuckle. What is Juvi trying to do? They're trying to take off the mask, Joel.
This would make world news if this happened. This would make the front page of the paper in Mexico if this happened.
They're trying to take off that rich silver mask, the tradition of the Santo family. 83 years it has been around in Mexico. Lucha Libre and pro wrestling icons, and Juvi is laughing. What a despicable human being.
You can probably count on one or two hands the number of people alive on Earth who know what these men look like, and they're on the verge of getting unmasked right here in Yakima.
Now he has him upside down. Does Juvi? Luckily, the mask is still on, thank goodness, but Hijo del Santo's in a precarious position. Coming in is Santo Jr., but he gets clocked right to the midsection and sent to the turnbuckle. Look at that. What a drop down, takedown. And a cover, no. Joel, you could tell that Psicosis and Juvi are pulling out all the stops.
And I'm not surprised. I mean, they do this. This is how they get things done. And I'm telling you, I think the Santos are going to need to get into their own.
Look at that, going airborne is Juvi. The Santos are in a world of trouble, and they are feeling it. The fans aren't happy, and the Santos really have to regroup at this very moment. Good tag team wrestling there, and a boot right to the midsection. Turning around, and a super kick to the face. Juvi goes down, and now the Santos have the advantage. Going airborne, and a senton coming across the ring again, and he takes out Juvi. They'll send them both, and they clobber each other. Juvi bounces off the mat. They go airborne and shoulder tackles from the top turnbuckle. Camel clutches. Could this be it, Joel?
Stereo camel clutches, and that's what it took. Psicosis, Juventud, tap out to the camel clutch. Your winners, El Hijo del Santo y El Santo Jr.
Great win by Hijo del Santo and Santo Jr., who earlier met with Nora Sandiego and her husband, Raymundo Otero, to discuss their work with the wonderful Nora Sandiego Children Fund.
Nora Sandiego is literally the guardian of 900 children. She takes care of kids who have been separated from their parents due to immigration issues. She is literally a saint. She is a real-life El Santo. So it's very appropriate that she's assembled this summit with all of these ambassadors and humanitarians from the world of Lucha Libre.